Hello,
Hi.
everybody, and welcome to
Welcome,
CLCI
welcome,
Live.
welcome.
It's April. It's April. Oh my
It
gosh.
is
It
April
gosh,
Fool's
April
birthday.
Fool's Day. Yes.
It is April Fool's Day. It is. So, hello. Well, we're going to get going soon, but not right away. We are coming back to you guys with another Inside the Coaching Room. So, another coaching session. And we have a new coach and new client today. Lisa is going to be coaching Jerome. Very exciting. I'm
Mhm.
excited.
A little nerve-wracking.
It
For
is.
those,
Definitely
yeah,
is.
yeah, it definitely is for sure. For those of you who are watching out there, we would love to hear from you. But we just a soft reminder: we won't be sharing comments while the coaching session is happening. That way, Lisa and Jerome can have plenty of time and aren't distracted or anything of that nature. The session will be approximately 30 minutes. It might be a little longer than that, but hi. It looks like Parsonic. Hello. We have somebody saying hi. We haven't started
Oh, it
yet,
might
so
be
we
Pilar. It might be Pilar.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it's Pilar. Hi, Pilar.
So right now we're getting everything set up on the back end. Looks like Jerome is ready. So we still want to hear from you. We still want to hear those comments. And then once they are done with their session, we will come back in and we will discuss what we have seen. Lisa, are you feeling ready?
I'm feeling nervous, but
I love that you share that though, because it's true of all of us, I think, in these situations.
Yeah.
Also, to those of you who are watching, be sure and follow. Please hit that follow button. We appreciate it if you do. And I think that's all. I think we will hop off, back out, and leave it to Lisa and Jerome.
oh no.
Here we go.
Fun.
I'll take it easy on you.
You'll take it easy on me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch. Can I switch where? Yeah, that's what I want. Where you are and where I am.
Yep.
So it more looks like I'm looking at you. Does it feel like I'm looking at you right now?
Yes, it does.
Very good. Very good. I want to, before we get started, just let you know I have a note, paper, and pen. I might look down just briefly to jot some notes down. So if you see my eyes not looking at you and still listening, I'm still participating with our coaching session. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, fantastic. As we take a breath to get us centered, I'm going to, in that place, if you're welcome to join me. And then please share with me what you would like to talk about today. What's your focus?
So I spent some time thinking about it, and I was kind of pushing it away because I'm terrified of it. I want to devise not only a plan to clean up my closet, and it's a big closet, it's a walk-in closet, so it's kind of like storage room size. And not only devise a plan to clean it, to keep it clean, because I've had it in spaces where it's been almost there, never completely where I want it to be, but right now it's devolved to like just a pile of clothes and like boxes and things that shouldn't even be in there.
So, what has prompted you today to want to think about your terrified plan of your closet and how you want to keep it?
Because it's like spring cleaning time, and I've been cleaning everything else and avoiding that altogether. So like, I don't know why it seems to come so hard. I can clean the kitchen, I can do my bathroom, no problem. But when it comes to that closet, I think I've just let it get too out of hand, is what it is.
And what do you think that avoiding is about?
The time that it's going to take for me to do it, and then I think it's one of the more boring things to clean. I hate folding clothes and organizing them and putting them in drawers. It's not very exciting. I can throw some music on, but it still doesn't seem to help me much.
So you mentioned that you don't have any problem doing other cleaning and other organizing. What's the difference between that and your closet? Besides, you shared it's boring and
You know what? I think it's really because I don't use my closet like I do everything else every day. Like I have to sleep in my bed. I have to go shower. I have to brush my teeth in the morning. So I keep those things clean because I like to be in a relatively clean environment. But the closet, I can just hop in there, grab what I need, run out, be there in 30 seconds, and I'm out 30 seconds flat. So I think that's
Okay.
probably at the tip of why it's something that I'm avoiding. Because it's and if people come over, I can just close the door and no one sees it. So it's just a little dirty secret, I guess.
You use the word to start, terrified. What's terrifying?
Maybe not terrifying. Uh, it's just daunting. I know it's going to be a daunting task. Something that's probably going to take more than one session to complete. I'd probably have to go in there a couple times, at least. So it's a process that I know if I start, I'm going to want to really finish it properly this time because I've tried before, like I mentioned.
And what prevented you from the time before that you tried? What?
I think I got it in a really good space and I was like, this is good enough. And then eventually I'll end up working my way to just a few more things and I'll end up working my way to exactly where I want it to be, my quote unquote perfection. But lives. And then, I was gone for one weekend, had to bring some clothes and, that required me taking out clothes. And then I came back with dirty clothes and then that meant those went there and it devolved from there. So that the first time that I really got really close to where I wanted it to be, that's what happened.
Okay. And you shared with me a moment ago that you said it's going to take probably more than one moment or one setting of cleaning it. It's going to take another moment of cleaning it. What needs to be addressed to help you focus on that?
Well, I think I should decide exactly what to do in those multiple sessions because I point that out. I think there is first, it needs to be, I have too many clothes. So first I need to get rid of some clothes and that's going to take me some time in itself. So I have to sit down and separate what I want to keep, what I don't want to keep. I'm going to also want to make sure I get to like a donation center and get those there, which is, like I said, going to be a day in itself. And then once that's done, the things that I do have available and I do want to keep, I'm going to have to fold what I have to fold. I'm going to have to probably get some more hangers because, like I said, I have a lot of clothes. And hang up what needs to be hung up. And I like to organize it. The way that I want to do it is color coded. So that's probably the fun part. I'm excited about that. Once I get to the part where everything's hung up and folded, and then I get to like kind of organize and move things around to my liking, that's probably the more exciting part. And that'll be like my, I don't know, the little cherry on the top when I get to that point.
In your mind's eye, can you see your closet? What are you seeing right now?
Lots of stuff on the floor, unfolded. Boxes that shouldn't be in there. Just a bunch of clothes that I know I'm never going to wear again. And an empty drawer that needs to be filled with like my essentials, like undershirts and underwear and stuff like that. That's just kind of sitting there doing nothing, wasting space.
So in your mind's eye, as you're seeing your closet with the boxes and things not in the place where you really would like them, how do you feel?
Disorganized and disgruntled every time I walk in there. Like I said, it's really easy to shut off because I can just close the door. But it's really like on the weekends when, like I mentioned, if I'm going out of town or just going to see family or something like that, and I have to pack, I'm like, where is everything? Like it should not be this ridiculous in here, and it really irks me when it comes around to that because I know I could, if I really put my mind to it, I could take care of it.
So it kind of sounds like, if I'm hearing you, that part of the motivation is so that you can find things more easily.
Yes, absolutely.
You mentioned the color coding and you said that's kind of a fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you see it right now, or the way you feel about it, is disgruntled. So what's going to allow you to take that first step?
I guess I just got. I mean, I got to get in there, and I think, yeah, I think really, because it in my head, I kind of can say that, yeah, I can get it all done in one day, but I really don't. I've tried that, and it hasn't worked. So I really think that sitting down and, like I said, doing the separation part of clothes that I do and don't need, that is, I think once I get that out of the way, because that's kind of been, even when I had it to a point where I was almost like, this is my perfect, there was still like a ton of clothes, like they might have been in there neatly, but it was like these are just sitting in there for no reason, and it's kind of something that I just feel like needs to be taken care of before I can maintain a space ideally, because where it's at right now, those clothes get in the way. They end up on the ground. They end up mixed up with other clothes, and that's what makes it tough to like pack, because I'm like, I don't wear this anymore. It doesn't even fit me. So I think that is got to be like the first hurdle. I've got to sit down and take care of that. And yeah, I don't think I've ever thought about it as a two-step process. I've always tried to tackle it just all at once.
So two-step process. Imagine, if you will, your closet. You're tackling it in a two-step process. You mentioned the first step is to go through your clothes. What are you doing differently from the last time you tried?
I think since I plan on donating them, instead of trying to organize what I have, I just put them in a bag and get them out. Don't get them out of sight, out of mind. Put them in the trunk of my car and get ready to take them to a donation center, as opposed to trying to keep them around and nice and neat. And there's a part of me that kind of thinks that like it fills the closet out better, but I'm done with it. I don't need useless clothes in my closet. It doesn't make any sense.
How do you determine what works for you and what doesn't work for you with those clothes?
As far as which ones?
You're keeping versus not keeping.
Oh, well, there's sentimental ones that I think I always want to keep, like family reunion shirts and stuff like that. Sports memorabilia, things like that. Those are things I want to keep, even though I'm not going to necessarily wear them. Uh, and there's just straight up clothes that are way too small for me. Dirty. I like to keep a lot of them because I say I'm going to work out in it, but I work on like the same 2 or 3 shirts anyways. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, this is a good workout shirt, and I never ever go to the gym in it. It's like I'm not wearing this bright orange shirt to the gym anyways. So it's there's shirts that I just know for a fact. I would say if I haven't worn them in like 4 months, 5 months, they got to go. There's no point in having them sitting in my closet because they'll stay there for another 4 or 5 months being unworn.
Okay, so you've said you have the wardrobe that you want to wear to work out versus the ones that you think, well, maybe I'll wear them to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And so pulling them down, putting them in the bag, and getting them gone.
Yeah, I think the maybes have to go. I shouldn't say maybe about anything in that closet. It's like, am I going to wear this? Yes. Am I not? And if I'm not going to wear it, just rip the Band-Aid off, put it in the bag, forget about it. It's gone.
So what if a maybe comes out of your lips?
It needs to go away, and it needs to be a yes or a no.
Okay, so imagine that closet. You're going through the closet. You've got your yes pile, or is it a pile? I don't know.
It'll be a bag, a big bag.
Okay, so the yes bag is what's going. The staying is probably in the hanging up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you seeing now that you have separated that?
A lot more space. And yeah, I think the process I would like to go with is not even trying to fold in this moment. Like even the ones that I want to keep, this is a process where we're just downsizing, getting rid of stuff. If I get caught into the whole folding process, I'm gonna burn out and not get as much as I'd like to do on this end with this first step process that I'm trying to get through.
Okay. So when you're thinking about those clothes that you're putting in the yes pile to get rid of, what's the timeline consideration that will best serve you?
I could probably do it in the next couple weekends, honestly. Nope, not this weekend because I'm gonna go see some family, but it'll. See, this is tough. I think I might have to do it during the week because the next weekend is my mom's birthday. And I want to get it done because, like I said, it's spring cleaning time and I've been getting everything else taken care of. And it's nice to have everything in unison. I don't want, everything else to start getting dusty again. And then finally my closet's clean and I got to get back to cleaning everything else. So it's just nice to have things in unison. So I might have to just, bite the bullet and do something after, I'm off the clock. And maybe. I don't know how that looks. I could be free actually Sunday. I'm free Sunday, so Sunday could be the first step process for me.
So imagine Sunday, what you're doing Sunday, when or where or how do you put it in?
So Sundays are usually my rest days from the gym. I think wake up, have myself some coffee, put on some music, and get rid of some clothes. That's not very hard, I think, to achieve.
So music, wake up, coffee, music. Then what?
Then get rid of those clothes. I'll have to. I know where there's a donation center. I know exactly where it's at. I've been eyeballing it every time I pass it. So,
Where do you have your coffee at?
what do you mean when
You wake up, you're having your coffee. Where are you at?
I'm gonna probably drink it as I clean, I would say.
So okay.
To keep me little spurts of energy, so I can get through it. Because, like I said, it's not going to be probably the most exciting part. And that coffee will kick me in the butt. Make sure I'm going in the right direction and I don't get lazy doing the boring stuff. So it'll be probably right next to me, where the bathroom's kind of connected to the closet, so it'll be right next to it.
Okay. So you're gonna wake up, you're gonna get your coffee, you're gonna let that be the instigation to start working on your closet, pulling out the clothes that no longer serve you, drinking your coffee, listening to your music. Is there anything missing from that picture so far?
No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't sound that bad when you kind of put it and lay it out for me, because it sounds like a good Sunday, honestly, if you ask. You know what? And I think maybe I should add like some sort of reward system for myself. Maybe I should go get some
Go get some more clothes. I'm just kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
I'm thinking maybe to incentivize myself to complete it is like go out and get some good food.
Good food.
Yeah, so that the end goal isn't just I got rid of some clothes for the day, which doesn't seem that fulfilling because, like I said, the end goal for me is to get my closet completely in the shape that I want it to be. So just getting rid of some clothes may feel a little good in the moment once it's complete, but to have that end of the day kind of just reward, I think is something that would incentivize me to make sure I do all of it and not just, kind of halfway get what I need out of there and halfway still things that probably shouldn't be in there.
So you're in there drinking your coffee, listening to your music, going to get good food afterwards. How long are you spending in the closet? As you said, you wanted to break it apart.
That is a good question. It depends on how apprehensive I am when it comes to, do I want to get rid of this or not? So removing that, maybe I can tell you the first time I attempted it, probably spent like 30 minutes getting rid of some clothes, and it didn't do a dent. Like it was so. This is going to be an all day thing. This is definitely going to be an all day thing for sure. Uh,
So you mentioned the word apprehensive. What do you mean that you're apprehensive about what you were doing, getting rid of clothes?
yeah, it just goes back to the part where I think I keep telling myself I'll eventually wear this one day, or I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe I'll lose weight, like 10 pounds, and then I'll wear this again because I like it. But again, it's a process that's really has been for like the last 7-8 months, preventing me from just getting that closet in order as I want it to be and as I know it to be, because I got really close to it. So I just want to get to that part there.
So you said it's been preventing you. You've been kind of putting it off. You started it at one point. You didn't completely finish it. So what are you learning about yourself right now as you listen to what you've shared so far?
Um, I think I have like a bit of hoarder in me, maybe is what it is. Uh, honestly, I find sentiment in a lot of things. So I think a lot of these shirts kind of remind me of a certain point in time in my life, and that is something that keeps me from letting go sometimes of some of the things that I don't let go of.
So letting go of the particular clothing is difficult because of sentiment. What about sentiment do we need to talk about?
I don't think necessarily you have to talk about the sentiment. What did just come to my mind was that maybe if I had someone help me, like if somebody was willing to subscribe to help me, and it was like just rapid fire. Yes, no, yes, no. And I don't know who'd be willing to do that. Maybe my roommate. He's really cool. Maybe if I buy him some lunch too, once we're done, he'd be willing to do so. But definitely would have to ask him.
Okay, so you're sharing what support can help you along the way. Perhaps your roommate, and if they can't, who else could?
Can always invite my sisters over and do the same for them. Ask if they want some lunch. I'll get you guys some lunch or something like that if you guys help me out. And in the meanwhile, they're hosted to hanging out with their brother too. So
The family's always fun. Your sisters
yeah,
hanging out. Food is a good way to get everybody motivated. What's the good food going to be?
that's a good question. Well, if I'm asking them, it would probably be their choice. But
Yeah.
me, there's a really nice sandwich shop that I haven't been to downtown in a minute, close by my house, and it's called Chiba Hut. I love it. It's delicious. And
Yeah, they have good sandwiches.
yeah, they do. And that would be the spot. I don't usually go because they can get pricey if you get like if I'm really trying to fill up. But that would be the spot. And it's been a while since I've been downtown, so that'll actually be a nice little treat just going downtown as well.
So, as we're considering what you've shared so far, what is the measure of success from this conversation?
Come Monday, I don't have to worry about getting rid of clothes. They're gone. And all I've got to do from there is really just a little bit of spring cleaning is what it is. Just the folding part's not going to be fun, but like I said, I think I'll hang a lot of it, which will make it a little bit easier as opposed to folding everything.
And from the conversation that we're having, what's the measure of success from this conversation?
Okay. I'm going to need to determine if I want help or not.
Okay. And how do we do that? How do you do that?
I have to just be okay with bugging somebody a little bit, asking for help, which
And
isn't,
yeah, go ahead.
it's not something I typically lean on when it comes to taking care of my own space, because I feel like it's my own space and I should be taking care of it. But obviously, this has been a problem. This particular thing has been a problem. So I know I got people that care about me, and if I give them a little incentive, I think they'd be willing along to come for the ride with me.
So
And
what
this
is,
isn't the whole thing. This is just the beginning. So it's not like I'm asking them to do everything for me. Just help me out a little bit.
so what does bugging them look like?
To me, just asking, do you want to help clean my closet? That's, hey. But I guess it's not so terrible if I say, hey, I'll buy you lunch if you help me out.
And what if they still say no?
All three of them?
I know you got plenty to choose from, don't you?
Shoot, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and just take care of it myself, I think.
Okay.
Which is okay. And I'm fine with it, honestly. Because I think I'm at the point where I'm just more concerned about getting this closet in order. So if I have to just kind of go into a mode where I'm just doing the same thing that they'd be doing, yes, no, I think I could put myself in that space.
So that mode will allow you that where they would help you, you could get into that same mode possibly.
Yeah, I think really what we came up with earlier, there should be no maybe.
Okay.
So it is a yes or a no. And that should make the process go a lot faster.
So on Sunday, you're going to get up, drink your coffee, whether you have support of one of 4 people that you mentioned. You're going to be drinking your coffee. You're going to get into the rhythm of yes, no. There's no maybes. It's either a yes or a no. You're going to get rid of those clothes, take them to the Goodwill. You've got good food on the horizon. What would prevent you from doing any of that?
Staying too long, because like I said, I'll be going to see family over the weekend. So if I stay, or I'm convinced to stay longer than I'd like, it might get in the way.
Okay, so family could get, not that they're in the way. You're having a good time. You want to be with family, and that would have precedent over your closet. So if that should occur, what happens from there?
You know what? I don't think I'll let it get in the way, because I'll see them Friday and Saturday. So that means, hey, I just gotta set my boundary. Say I'm trying to take care of this, really. And if you want, you can come help me. So that could be maybe a segue for getting one of them to come help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, share with me what your takeaway from the session is so far.
I have a linear, vivid image of how I'm going to take care of this. So, and I'm really happy to utilize that, getting rid of the maybe thing, because I really think that's going to help me a lot. That's my main takeaway. It's a new system that I think I've come up with that I think very obviously to myself needs to be implemented so I can just get it done and taken care of. So that's my big takeaway.
And then you mentioned that you would ask for support. When might you ask for that support to see if you can?
We're chatting right now about the weekend, so I can text my sisters as soon as we're done here, and then also my roommate's here. I actually just got done texting him, so I can ask him too. So all I gotta do is fix my fingers to do so and fix my mouth to do so with him.
And how is all that feeling for you?
It feels okay. It feels good. It's not, it's not like I'm scared to do it. It's just, I don't know. There's something in me that just hates asking for help when it comes to like personal things like this.
And does that hate need to be discussed, or is that?
I don't think so. Not in this moment, because it's not that big of a task. So it's not that big of a deal for me to go ahead and ask them. And like I said, to my knowledge, they care about me, so it shouldn't be a hard no, even if they say no. So it's nothing that would affect me too harshly.
So as you think back to what you've decided, what you've shared, how you're going to get there, from let's say 1 to 10, 10 being the most committed to this process, what do you think your number is?
I'm feeling about a 9 because I really want to take care of this, and I'm really excited to use that new system where I'm just like, you know what, no maybes, Jerome. If it's a yes or a no, and I'm pretty sure that's going to speed that process up.
Okay. So as you've thought through this, as you've shared, does anything feel left unspoken about in this regard?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think everything, at least for this first step process, is not going to be exciting, like I mentioned, but at least I have some structure instead of me just going in there like I used to and just trying to wave a wand and hope everything gets, put in order. So having some structure is nice to this plan.
Okay. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate you being open and discussing what will work for you, what won't work for you, and what's going on in your closet, the support you are including along the way if you are able to, and then the support for yourself if you're doing it by yourself. What music are you hearing as you do that?
Oh, all types of different music. If I'm going to be there for a while, I can't stick to the same genre for too long. So we're probably going to start it off with oldies because it's Sunday. So,
yeah.
And then from there, we'll progress to however, probably put it on shuffle or something like that. If I get sick of the oldies.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okie dokie. Hello. Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Jerome, I love listening to you. Oh my God.
Really?
It was
Thought I was
just great.
boring.
Yes, I do. I want to hear you more.
I'm going to be back. I think I do have allergies. They're kicking. I'm going to blow my nose really quickly.
Lisa,
I
oh
like
my gosh, thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Jen. Go.
I'm just going to say, Lisa, thank you for that. I learned so much. I can't wait to talk about it.
I just want to say that I like that we all have similar issues with cleaning and organizing.
I know. I'm thinking,
every single
mine.
at some point or another has brought up some form of needing to clean or organize something. So we're all, it is clearly just a human trait. Okay, Jen, I know you're excited. Let's turn it over. You go. Go, Jen, go.
Okay, so, but do we want to hear from Jerome or Lisa first?
Sure. Or, I mean, we can hear from them. Sometimes I don't know if they want to break, but how did that feel for you guys? Lisa?
I was trying, which is my mistake, to get it into a more emotional place. And as I found out, he basically didn't want to go there, so I stopped. So I recognized his sharing was at a different place on what he wanted to accomplish. So I luckily stopped. Yes, go ahead.
I did feel some emotion coming up, but I think that me wanting to get this task done is like kind of what preceded that. So, or overseed that.
Thank you so much for sharing, Jerome. I really appreciate your willingness to be coached on this and being so open. Thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome. Felt like a conversation. Honestly, I didn't feel like I
Yeah.
was being coached.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like a conversation. That was the one thing that really stood out to me, is like it didn't feel like I was listening to coaching. It felt like I was listening to, like, I don't know, just like two people collaborating. And I really felt like Lisa was being such a strong thinking partner for Jerome, and thinking in a way that was really beneficial to him. Yeah, the part that you mentioned about asking into, the emotional aspect of it, this is a really good example of Jerome had this moment where asked about sentiment was the word that he used. And you said, is that something we need to talk about? And he said, no. But what did just come to my mind is, and that is a perfect example of what I teach, which is when you throw something out, the client's either going to receive it, they're going to reject it, or they're going to refine it. And Jerome kind of did like a half rejection of it, but then he refined it. He said, no, and something else just came up. It was so good. So that question helped move the conversation, just not in the way maybe that the coach was thinking it was going to, but it still did. The process that you shared in the beginning of taking notes before and confirming that Jerome was okay with it, that was awesome. I love that. I thought that was great. Competency 3, I would like to address competency 3. Our mentoring students will be definitely interested in this one. So explores the client's topic. 3.1, excellent. 3.2, reaches an agreement on what the client wants to accomplish as an outcome. I didn't hear it. You guys tell me, am I wrong? Did I miss it? I didn't hear it.
What was that?
I mean, I do think that, like
the
I think
session
it was
outcome.
I think that
the desired session outcome. The
I think
handshake.
there was
Here's what we're talking about.
I think there was, and I think there was an ask from Lisa, but I think what happened is Jerome jumped right into the process with it. Like, instead of answering that question, Jerome went immediately to he dove into the actual process where Lisa did the ask of like, well, what can we accomplish in the session? And I don't think it was in those words. And then Jerome dove right into this, like, I want to go about it this way. So I don't think, I don't think it was there in the traditional way, but I think that it was great that Lisa didn't stop him and force him into that contract, right? I think it was great that Lisa instead stayed with her client and stayed with him in that space and just was like, okay, this is where we're going. And I know this has happened to me plenty of times in sessions where I was like, oh, I'm going to record this, it's going to work out. And then the client isn't following the structure, right? And that's not the client's fault, right? And as a good coach, I'm going to stay with my client. So I at that point, there's been a couple times where I've just had to go, okay, well, letting this one go. It's not going to be a call. I'm just not going to stress about that anymore. And I just stay with my client. And that's because I do feel like sometimes when we are trying to stick to the structure so much, and we have time. I mean, it's so structured that they've set time limits for us on it. Like, it has to be done within what percentage into the session, and it has to be done within the first third of the session, right? And so that is a very strict structure to be in and can very easily blow past you. And at that point, I think you just have to go, okay, well, I'm going to be with my client then. And I'm not going to, because I think it keeps you in a little bit of an ego space as a coach, I have to hit these points. I have to hit them by this time. I have to do these things. And there is a point where you can just go, you know what? I have to let go of the things I have to do and just coach and be a coach, right? And I think that's where like the structure of the ICF, it kind of wars with itself, you know, and in some ways it's so good. And there's so many good things about it. And the reasons that they have us do the things they do are great, but is it always practical? I'm not 100% sure that
I
it is.
can answer, at least in my opinion. I was just ready to hop in. I knew exactly what I wanted to take care of and start working on it immediately, pretty much is how I saw it.
As soon as I heard Lisa ask what needs to be addressed, I realized, oh, sorry, go ahead.
And I also didn't get a measure of success right away. I got it way later because it didn't feel like it was appropriate in that, you know, in that beginning space until he got to share more, you know, and tell me more.
Yeah, you did a lot of exploring about, you know, 3.3, the significance of the topic, of what he wanted. That was excellent. So it was just a matter of not having that ICF handshake, but the coaching still moved flawlessly, and the client seemed to really benefit from that choice, honestly, by Lisa.
Well, and I think that's what, like Jerome said, he wanted to hit the ground running, and that's what he did. And like, it's a great example of why, like, not every session is going to be like a perfect, you're going to hit every marker spot on, the handshake is going to be there session. That's just not the real world, right? The real world is that there are times where we're gonna have to meet our clients where they're at, and where they're at might not work in that structure. And today was one of those days where Jerome was like, nah, I know what I want. We're hitting the ground running. We don't, like, you know what I mean? And it was great.
And I'm kind of thinking about it as well. I'm not sure I agree. I don't think it necessarily looked like what we typically do, but I did, you know, reflect back that he wanted to clean his closet. Right? Yeah. Did I say, is that, you know, is that the handshake? You know, it doesn't always look like the handshake. It's still going to be that marker being addressed, but not quite in the way maybe that we become accustomed to when we're, you know, teaching and training. It just kind of looks like a conversation, which is what you said earlier. It becomes more of a not stressed upon, right?
Yeah.
I think that was probably the biggest difference as I'm thinking it through. I didn't make a big to do about it, but I still reflected back that he wanted his closet cleaned.
Oh, for sure. It was still very clear, like that the topic was decided upon. Like that was obvious. Yeah.
It was, I think that the ask was, and you asked it, Lisa, you did ask this, like, I remember it. You said, what can we do? Like, what is the measurement for success in this session, or something along those lines? And Jerome went right into I've got to go through my shirts. I got to figure out what I want to keep, what I don't. And so he just he was running already. And so I don't think as a coach, it would be smart for you to like he's already out the gate and going to like bring him back to what is the measurement like of success for, because he's already doing he's already doing the work. Right. And so
he was already doing the do. And like I said, if you remember, it was later in the session that I asked him that measurement, because it didn't fit where you know we typically will put it. At least it didn't feel that way to me organically.
And when it came in later in the conversation, I actually thought you were using it differently. I thought when you were asking it, what is the measure of success from this conversation, that meant, Jerome, how will you know that this conversation has been a success based on the actions you take? That's how I interpreted it. And I had never heard it used that way. And I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah, no, and that's true. And that came in like, it was like, that was like 20 or 5 minutes into the session or so, right? Like that came later. And it's true. It was used as a way for Jerome to sort of check in and know, like, state what has already been successful and what else he needed to like complete the session. So it's just interesting because, like, I think it's such a good example of, like, ICF teaches a very specific structure, but it doesn't have to look like that specific structure in every session, right?
It's not the checkbox for the most part. I mean, we want to know what we're focusing on. Yeah, we need to know where we're going. Sometimes a client doesn't quite know all the particulars of that handshake, like Jen's mentioning.
Yeah, it's like a more organic process at that point, right? It feels like a more organic process, and that's what it felt like. This session felt like was more organic. And I do also want to note that I think that there is more room for that too when you get to an MCC space, right? Also, like, they start to sort of throw some of the rules out the window as they assume you've had enough coaching and experience under your belt. At least from my understanding, right? I haven't gotten there, but Lisa could attest.
I wouldn't say thrown out the window, but they know that you're tracking with your client. They know that you're listening. They know, if you've gone through all that effort, they definitely are more susceptible to the knowing that you are in partnership with your client, that you aren't thinking about what you want.
Yeah. So there is more flexibility in those spaces. Yeah. I think they even want more exploration in the MCC calls, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
In the beginning?
Usually it's trying to get the depth versus what do you call this? Broad?
Yeah.
Breadth.
You go deeper rather than broader.
Yeah.
A couple other things.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead. Then I was just saying there's a question that I like, but I'll share it. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. Go ahead.
Okay. A couple other things that really stood out to me was Lisa had really good distinction questions. So asking Jerome, there was a couple times where she asked him what's different. And there were two, I can't remember exactly what it was about, but she asked it twice. And it really helped him define the difference between what he was sharing. That was really powerful. And then, of course, how could you not notice this? The shared vision questions, the imagine, and like literally having him walk it through. Oh my God. I mean, to the point where she even said, imagine you're in your closet and you've got the yes pile. Wait, is it a pile? What is it? Like really getting him to be involved in that vision. Where do you have your coffee at? Like getting
those are exactly, that was what I was going to bring up, is those questions. That was like, where is it a pile? Where do you have your coffee? What music are you listening to?
Yes,
Like
the details. That was true partnership there. That was amazing. And then the check-in question, this I loved. After you were talking strategy and you were doing the visualization, you then came in with, what are you learning about yourself right now with what you've shared so far? And that, I mean, it was like you shifted gears a little bit there. And so that was really powerful. That really got Jerome to like express some stuff there that was likely beneath the surface. And now it's in his awareness. And then also, I mean, competency 8 was so strong. There were so many different types of support questions to support him into action. I love the question, what are you taking away? And he says a vivid image, or something like that, like a vivid image of the process. That was awesome. And then the question about when he mentioned, she said, does anything feel left unsaid on this topic? Which is a great way of asking, or is there anything else? Does anything feel left unsaid on this topic? And he said, no, but just that I hate asking for help. And then you hit him with, does that hate need to be discussed? And he said no. So again, he's either going to receive it, he's going to reject it, or he's going to refine it. And that was a rejection, but when you're not attached to being right as the coach, it doesn't matter.
And that is so like, yeah, that's so one of those moments where a coach could be like, oh, that's a big word, right? Like, and that's a big thing. Like, oh, we got to take him down that path, right? And I could see in a newer coach moment, not deferring to that client, but kind of forcing into that. But Lisa didn't. He said, no, I already know what that is. I already know what that is, right? Jerome said, and I just need to do it. And so I could see how like a coach could really want to like dive deeper there, right? But if Jerome didn't need that, that's not what he needed, and he let her know, and so she stayed with him. Yeah.
And
Could be
this is
something I
where
say. I was going to say that could be something I say for another session. And in that moment, I didn't want to talk about it. It's not like it wasn't important, but today it wasn't.
Well, and we're also conscientious of the time. Right?
Well, that too. Yeah.
You know, and
it's an example of there's a quote that gets thrown around a lot. And this is a perfect example of when it doesn't work. Because I have this thing when I hear these quotes, I'm like, no, that's not 100% true all the time. We got to be careful with it. And it's, you can't take a client deeper than you've gone yourself or something like that. Well, if Lisa has gone deeper and she hears Jerome say he hates to ask for help, she's gone deeper on this topic and she has this, desire to take him deeper because she's gone deeper and she should be able to because she's done it herself. Now we are in a non-coach territory.
Yes, true.
It is not about that. It is, we can't go deeper than the client wants to go. Hate to say it, but that's the truth.
And that's the truth.
And to be fair, Jerome, he stated, I want to figure out how to clean my closet, right? He didn't ask. It wasn't, I want to figure out why or how to ask for help, right? He didn't, that wasn't the topic. That wasn't the topic at hand. And for the what we needed and what that intention was, and this is coming up much later in the session, the only question around that is, do we need to talk more about that, right? At that point, like for you and for the sake of what we are talking about, is that relevant? And he answered that. So you stay with him.
And I feel that quote almost implies that we need to go deeper or we should go deeper. And I think that's dangerous. I think we should stay with our client and honor our client's autonomy. Where do they want to go? That's really all that matters. And Jerome not wanting to go deeper on that is not a problem. He got what he needed. Why would we force that or want that or think that we need that? So.
Well, and can you imagine it would be so frustrating for me as a client if I go into the session and I have a specific thing I want to work on, and that's what I want. That's what I need in my life. And then the coach decides to like needle into that and keep going down that path. And then I end up at the end of the session without my plan of what I wanted. And now I've opened up a whole can of worms of other things I need to work on. And now I'm overwhelmed. You know what I mean? So that's what you just gotta, I think I just want to say quickly, and then I'll be quiet because Anthony hasn't spoken at all. Is that I really think this is a fantastic example of a session where the coach stayed with the client, where Lisa was partnering and staying with Jerome the whole way, and was tracking with him and giving him what he needed, and it was a beautiful demonstration of that.
100%. Yeah.
Thanks.
And Anthony, Jen, do you guys have more? Do you have anything else?
No, I've shared. What did Anthony
I can't hear you, Anthony. You can't hear you.
He's muted.
Yeah. We still can't hear you.
I said it was a good session.
Yeah.
I guess my mic was muted, not that. So that's why you guys couldn't hear me earlier. Anything else that I noticed? You guys already touched upon one of the things I want to talk about was like bringing the imagination to bear, and like, what does it look like when you're doing this, and bringing in all these future hypotheticals that Jerome has to now like imagine and put himself in the situation as if he was actually doing the task then and there, which we did talk about in class, correct?
We do. I think
We
also,
did-
yeah, and it was one of the things we talked about 102 as well a little bit is
we do talk about it, but I don't see it a
Well,
lot. I don't
you don't
see
see
it a lot from
but-
other coaches, but
I think it's
something-
also a really good demonstration of like this session would taught me a lot about Jerome's, like we talk about modalities, right?
Mhm.
But like how he absorbs the world or is inclined to absorb the world. And like, I got a lot of like auditory, there was a lot of like, he used auditory words. He was worried, music and things like that were coming up. And like, I was like, oh, he is definitely somebody who like is a listener. He is an audio driven human being that is part of who he is. And you can pick that up from the session and from that picture painting.
Yeah. I think also, you know, I was thinking even before we got into session, what tools did I want to bring in? And I had a whole completely different tool that I was intending to use in this process. But as I watched him, I somehow shifted gears because it didn't feel like it would have been a good fit for this conversation. I noticed him, you know, looking up and thinking. I noticed him looking around, and it just kind of organically shifted in that moment. So I was looking something up as Jen was checking in on me about 3.3 or 3.2.
3.2. You nailed 3.3.
Okay. I was getting the possible other directions we could go with that. I feel like I built it in with some of the other responses and reflections I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was what the difference was, is I built it in. And that can happen when you are listening to a coaching call. 3.2, 3.3 could be the same verbiage. It doesn't have to be something different per se. So that's something to recognize. It can be built in together. Doesn't have to be separated. For beginning coaches, we like to have you have it separated so you know what you're doing.
Right.
And that's the important piece.
And another thing about the visualization stuff that Lisa did, that is not ACC level. That is not in the ACC markers. That is PCC and MCC. So if anyone who's, you know, mentoring for ACC sees this, that is the next level. That is not, you can use that, but
It's
you
a
don't have
tool.
to.
It's a
It's a tool, right?
Don't do it.
No, I mean, play with it, but you know, also we're not looking for that necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's fun to use though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that should wrap it up then. Thank you all for joining us on another CLCI Live. I think this is the last Inside the Coaching Room.
For now, yeah,
For
I'm
now.
sure we'll come back to it. I am loving this, but I do think we're going to take a break from it. We are going to be, next week's topic, I think Anthony is going to be the one heading a lot of this up, and we're going to be asking a lot of questions of Anthony and Sam. But we will be discussing AI next week and AI in coaching and all of the things that are coming up with it. There's a lot of things.
I think we could have a series of that.
I remember the first AI. I remember the first AI one we did was kind of like more speculative.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was still
Yes, it was.
Now it's here.
Now it's here, and we know we have the answers.
Well, we're in the middle of it. Things
Middle
are
of it, yeah.
constantly
I would
evolving.
still say beginning of it, but yeah.
Last time
All
we
right.
talked about it, I was scared of it, and now I'm in it.
Now it's a whole different world, right? I know how things change. So we are coming back to discuss more on AI. We maybe a more than 1 week topic. We want to see how it goes. We're going to be a little fast and loose with that. We'll see how much we get into with regard to it. next week. And then if we need to have another week of it, we can. And that's all. Possibly. Actually, we can't. We're out of town, so it will have to be you guys that keep discussing it. We go. All righty. Well,
Wait,
that's all.
what? Wait,
What,
we're
not
having
next
a
week?
tape session?
Not next week.
No.
Huh?
We'll talk about this off
off.
stream. Yeah.
Bye.